long-form open discussion podcast. Topics include sensitive issues such as sex, religion, politics, race, gender, death, BDSM, MFN, CFNM, MMF, MMFM, and healthcare. Do not try this at home.
Get your motherfucking ass up when I'm talking.
So hold on tight. The action starts now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
And here we go.
He doesn't trust me. He's a mechanic, and so I got a great story for you. All right. So I'm in California. I'm out west. I've gone west. I've survived the Donner Party travel, which, by the way, if you ever get a chance to travel through the South, you should, because it's breathtaking how many people love our president so much that they're willing to write his name in giant letters on their property. Jesus Christ. Anyways, so I'm out here. I'm out in California. Repeat Offender Podcast coming at you from the West Coast, the best coast, the city by the bay, the city that never sleeps. And I was applying for jobs, and there's a lot of cannabis jobs on Indeed, right? So I fucking apply. Dude, I've been applying everywhere. Places I don't even qualify for. Like, they're looking for a neurosurgeon. They're looking for a fucking chemist. I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, I'm on it. I can learn. So I applied at this place. It was some dispensary, and I don't know if you ever used Indeed, but there's a lot of annoying hoops to jump through on Indeed. So, like, say you're an employer and you put a fucking job posting on Indeed, Indeed.com, you could be a sponsor. And then some of them are like, well, I'll pay the extra $5 a month for them to have to take like a competency test.
Yeah,
right.
I took one of them one time. So
I get one from this dispensary, and it's like, well, you can go ahead and fill out. If you fill out this, you go to this link. You follow this link and you fill out this information, and we can move forward in the process. And I got excited, right? Because I'm like, anybody who pays attention to me, I get excited. So I fill this fucking thing out, and question number 3 is like, send us a headshot and a professional full body shot.
No, dude.
I swear to God, like Tinder, like, show me your torso. And I ignored it. I was pissed off. I was like, fuck this, dude. So these motherfuckers ended up getting like a smiley face from me, and then they got this Photoshop photo of me, like, of my face on some really buff dude standing half naked in the ocean. So, but I filled out the rest of the questionnaire, and why are you interested in the cannabis industry? And I swear to Allah, one of the questions were, are you comfortable working in an unlicensed dispensary? If no, please don't continue filling out this questionnaire.
That's funny.
Like, funny. Okay, DEA, you guys are getting fucking lazy.
That's fucking funny.
Are you comfortable contract killing people?
Damn. I thought you was going to go into, must be drug-free, take your analysis and hair follicles. I thought that's where you was really going.
Bro, I swear to God, I've seen one that says that.
That's crazy.
And I think it said it opted out of THC because they don't want a bunch of meth heads in the dispensary.
I don't think meth heads would be in a dispensary. I'm gonna be real with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas are doing their own things. People usually segregate by drug of choice.
I'm telling you, I feel like meth heads can just incorporate themselves better than a crackhead. Like when we were talking about last time, who would win in a fight, a crackhead or a meth head? Which, by the way, I'm going to make a poll on Twitter, and I want people to get in on that, and we're going to decide after a week, and the winner.
Everybody knows the tweaker.
That could mean so many things.
No, that means the nigga that's motherfucking smoking a bubble. That's what it means.
No, it's actually a trick question. The guy on PCP wins.
That's funny. The police, because they shoot them both.
Because they can shoot. Guy on PCP can take a couple shots to the chest like your mom, and then fucking boom, still walk.
Damn. So what's up with the title? Starting anew, Veterans Day. What's up with Veterans Day?
Well, I'm starting anew. I'm coming out like Diana Ross, right? I'm out here, and I'm gonna change perspective. I'm not gonna be, although I wasn't going to be angry. I decided that until today. I was putting together some fucking IKEA furniture. And I have no idea.
People actually buy IKEA?
No, so we went in and got bunk beds for the kids, and we picked out a decent one. It was like $200. And I was putting the shit together, and the whole time I'm just like, fucking Sweden sided with the Nazis. And I just don't understand why fucking Swedish engineers, IKEA engineers, hate so much. Why they're hateful, evil fucking people. They're like, yeah, you know what? The day in the life of a fucking IKEA engineer's got to be like, okay, there's all 134 parts that goes to it. Let's throw one away. That was a horrible Swedish accent.
Yeah, that was horrible.
But I recovered. It harshed my mellow a little bit because I'm sitting there going, these motherfuckers are trying to bring me back. I try to get away and they keep pulling me back. They're testing me, right? It's like that song. It's like that 50 Cent song. I'm the dude at the bar toasting to the good life. You're that faggot motherfucker trying to pull me back, right? And that's the Swedes. I'm toasting the good life, and
I don't think anybody really pays attention to the Swedes. Like dude. Like this is the first time I've heard somebody mention a motherfucker since high school. You know what I'm saying? It's just
they get mentioned.
They exist, but they're like not really there.
They get mentioned every time there's a mass shooting, because then somebody posts like, they're like, Sweden, everybody carries a gun, and if it's like, shut the fuck up. Do you know how big Sweden is? You fuckhole.
Do people really carry guns in Sweden?
It's one of those Nordic countries where people are allowed, or like the government mandates that you have one, and they always show the white people on the bikes riding with like assault rifles on their back.
Oh, that's fucking great. I mean, man, I think I'm gonna go online, man, like Expedia or something, and I'm gonna search random flights and see where I can go for like $500 in a round trip.
Bro, you can't. I mean? You shouldn't show up to Sweden because you're kind of comparative to those bars of ivory soap. You look Arabic.
Yeah, fuck them. You know what I mean? I'll just shit on their chest.
And you're not only do you look Arabic, but you're a big dude. You'd be the most scary terrorist in the world.
Yeah, fuck them niggas. That's the way I see them. You know what I'm saying?
Because you see, if you believe that 9/11 really happened, right? And then you see the pictures of those.
Really happened, but I don't understand the context. Are you saying like that the Arabic people did it, or
no? I'm just saying those guys were tiny. They were tiny little men. They were tiny little, just hopping around like, hey, we're going to take our plane.
Yeah, so
they almost thought they were Mexican.
A basic high school fucking science class would tell you that it's improbable that they was able to do that.
I'm not getting into this with you. Anyways. Oh, shit, I didn't bring...
Nigga, that's like your kids coming in the kitchen and tell you what you about to cook for supper and what you about to go to the store and buy. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, no, nigga, ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. But you couldn't go to Sweden, man, because you would be like the king terrorist. They'd be like, "Oh my God, you'd be."
I'm saying, I might go like, I don't know, nigga. I might go to Bolivia or something. You know what I'm saying?
The high chancellor from Bolivia just resigned because of corruption.
Of course they're corrupt, nigga. But yeah, that's what
they're throwing Molotov cocktails at each other in Bolivia. You don't want to go there.
Fuck the government, motherfucking throwing bullets at niggas here.
Just roll up in it.
Drop and roll, nigga, from a bullet. At least from the goddamn fire, you can.
Just roll up in Bolivia in a Toyota 4Runner, blast and fuck the police.
Yeah, nigga, I just need to go down there and start like a cocaine bar so fucking rich white people can come down there and snort coke, semi-legal. And
I know that I know that you're pop culture illiterate, and this is a long shot. But did you ever see Kickboxer?
Yeah, kickboxing. Nigga, I've seen
so there's that black dude down there who was like he was like a former special ops guy, and he helped like Jean-Claude Van Damme pick his brother up take him to the hospital, and and you see that guy, and you're like, man, I want to be that American that lives in some fucking Southeast Asia country. That's just like, fuck.
At everybody's bald spots.
Look at everybody's balls. Look at. I think we're on episode 37.
And nigga, we on episode something. There you go. That's what it is.
And I want to say this out loud. I want this to be known across the board. It's almost 2020, right?
Are you getting emotional?
Yeah, I'm about to get emotional. We're going to play that sad music.
Yeah.
I would make love to a really hot chick if she had a dick. So imagine a really hot chick, right? And I don't like fake boobs, so let's just say kind of.
All right, so you don't like fake tits, but you cool with the dick.
Well, yeah, right. But I'll have to deal with it now that I realize I just said that they're gonna have to be fake, because we're not at that part where we can just grow them naturally. I don't really like fake tits, but I'll deal with it. But if she's like kind of hot, feminine, skinny arms, electrolysis, no hair, but she got a big veiny uncut cock, which is a weird preference, I'd be okay with that.
You know, I was watching a motherfucking show earlier. What the fuck was the name of that motherfucking show? I don't remember what the name of that bitch was. It was
One Tree Hill?
No, it was a movie on Netflix. And this motherfucker was talking to, he was in Thailand, and nigga was talking to him about he be fucking with lady men. And then that's ironic that we come on to a Veterans Day episode and you start talking about chicks with veiny, uncircumcised penises.
I mean, veiny is just to give it a descriptor. I mean, if it was smooth, had like, you know, some balls, a shaft, kind of hairless.
I don't know where you say you're like less than a weekend. I don't know when you actually arrived on the left coast, but you're less than a weekend. And this is the first conversation that has been held on, you know, the fucking World Wide Web, nigga.
Right, and now I'm dropping
I'm saying, nigga, you kind of just like stereotyped. Like, I couldn't have come up with this shit. I couldn't have invented it, nigga. Like, if we would have practiced all weekend, I couldn't have invented that statement.
I'm just telling you, as soon as I got here, as soon as I felt that West Coast air,
yeah,
I was like,
there was like a small white veiny penis on your chest.
It was like a penis awakening.
Like it grew out the foreskin, it just kind of grew into its natural element.
Yeah, it's like I got here. It's like I got here, and the devil showed up with his massive penis on the penis trolley and was like, "Penis trolley, sir, can I help you?" And I'll be like, "Do you have anything besides giant penis?" "No, sir, only giant penis today on the penis trolley." And I'll be like, all right.
I mean, you know, statistically, though, it's good to come into your own, man, because, you know, you got to look at these motherfuckers. Like, when Facebook and shit first came around, you had all these middle-aged men and, you know, elderly men and shit reuniting with people from their past, and the one experience they had on the naval ship, you know, in 1957 or some shit like that, and they lived this lie their entire life, you know, so, like, you're, like, decades ahead of the norm, you know what I mean, to embrace who you actually are.
Most of these motherfuckers are sucking dick in 2019, and I'm over here in 2032 fucking getting my dick sucked at the same time. Oh, go, shorty. And speaking of getting your dick sucked at the same time, tomorrow is Veterans Day. Not Memorial Day, where you're supposed to remember the dead, but tomorrow is the ones where you're supposed to remember the live ones. Now, my experience was in veterantry.
All right.
Is that I was...
Hold on. Let me stop you for a second. Quick question. So what does it take to be a veteran?
Are you talking about veteran of an actual war or veteran in the aspect of someone who just served in the military?
That is a good question. I'm glad you brought that up. Now, there's a conundrum amongst veterans, right?
Yeah.
I believe, and I could be wrong, and anybody that listens to this, my email is there. Go ahead and email me, or just put it on the Facebook page or the Instagram page. There's an issue in my eyes with being a veteran, and I believe the statistic is that 1% of our total military ever sees combat, ever puts themselves or is put into a situation in which their life is in peril.
That's the thing about having a big military. Now, if there was like 50 motherfuckers running around with fucking potato guns, you know, they'd be crushed. Everybody'd be dead, so 100% would be dead. But when you're big and you're overspent and you're corporate controlled and, you know, doing shit like that, and you're so fucking massive that nobody really wants to take you on, you know what I'm saying? You have a very limited actual boots on the ground approach. But go ahead.
So I know it. I know a lot of people like to go across the board. They like to say, well, thank you for your service. People thank me for my service. And I think it's weird because my efforts in the Navy did not elicit any kind of I wouldn't have turned the tide of any situation had I been there or not been there.
I don't know that's true because you were a number, and the numbers are intimidating. So each number, adds up. 1 grain of sand don't make a fucking hour clock. You know what I'm saying? But all them motherfuckers, it make a lot of time, nigga.
Well, I think we should thank the ones who did serve, the people who've gone to Afghanistan, in Iraq, or Bosnia back in the 90s, things like that. But there's also a huge portion of veterans in this world. In which, like, some of them, there's cooks, there's dispersing clerks, there's people on the military basketball and football and baseball teams.
The marching band.
There's a marching band. There's legal assistants. There's on our ship they were called lithographers. There were people who literally what they did was make signs and banners and T-shirts.
Oh, that's amazing.
There's tons. There's people that don't even serve.
I think I would have been a Navy diver.
I think you would have definitely been a Navy diver, and I would have fucking paid to see that. Jesus Christ. Godzilla!
Like, what's the fuck is that movie with goddamn Robert De Niro and Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Men of Honor.
Cookie. Goddamn it.
Goddamn it, Cookie. I don't owe you a goddamn fucking thing. That was a good movie. Yeah. Hell, I don't know why anybody want to be a Navy diver. If you're lucky, you will die 200 feet below the waves because that is the closest you will ever come to being a hero.
That's fucking great.
That is a good movie, actually. I recommend that.
I'm going to have to watch it. I'm going to go watch it after a while.
Man, Robert De Niro. What a great actor.
Yeah, but he can't cry worth a fuck.
No, he can't cry worth a fuck.
Yeah, he should stick to acting because I don't give a fuck what his politics is.
I don't give a fuck what most people's politics are because they're usually it's really tepid and they're extremely wrong about it, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to be in a big fucking house, nigga, full of air conditioning and motherfucking diesel and gas cars that are driven for no reason and then, talk about other shit. But, it's neither here nor there on that part. You know what I mean?
Well, and let's I'm not naming names. I'm not pointing any fingers. But, and I'm not saying you. This is a general term. Do you really not know who the fuck a Christian is? I mean, can you not spot that shit a mile away?
Who not a Christian is?
Like, can you not differentiate a real Christian from a fake, I'm just trying to get votes Christian?
Yeah, but I don't think that there's very, very few actual Christians.
Have you ever met an actual Christian? Here's the thing. So when you say, when you're a kid, 6 feet, 200 pounds ago, and you go to church, and when you're a kid and you go to church and they're like, you sing Jesus Loves Me, This I Know, and it's all fucking puppies and candy canes and sunshine and Jesus sitting there with the sheep at the end of the rainbow telling stories to kids, right? White Jesus. Then you get older and you find out there is just a lot of fucking red tape and fine print about being a Christian.
Man, there's a lot of hatred in the Christian church, man. I was having this
but it's disguised. It's not hate. They don't call it's like confabulated as
It's hate. I had the conversation the other day with someone that's near to me, and I was explaining to them how many people had actually fucking died in the name of religion, and especially from the three groups that are all started as Abrahamic fucking religions to begin with, so. And then they was telling me about the one true God, and I'm trying to explain to them, well, everyone who's born in a country or a place that has a base religion, that is the one true God, and if they've never been taught or exposed to anything else, so what's to say that their beliefs are any different or any more wrong or right than yours, you know what I mean?
Well, did you know that, like, when they talk about, how they say, there's that I guess it's not right, but there's that thing about Christians that are like, judge not unless you be judged kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I've talked to, and I truly believe a guy who is a true Christian, because he's got all the red tape bullshit. That was a dog.
He was telling you might be wrong about that.
I think that was that. Get thee back, Satan. So, but so he was telling me that, like, actually, as a Christian, you're allowed to judge people based on their ability to adhere to God's law.
I don't believe that at all.
And judging is a big part of Christianity to be able to help people.
Yeah,
which is where you get all those fundamentalists.
I don't believe none of that, man. I believe that you can't, judgment can't be in the equation, period, because nobody dies with you. You die alone, and if you meet your Creator, you're there and you answer him alone. But I'm not saying that we don't have the right as a civilized nation of laws to punish niggas and shit, but you can't be sitting back without all the evidence that claim to be a man of God and then sentence a nigga to death for a crime you may or may not have committed, you know what I'm saying? And I believe in the death penalty, you know what I'm saying? But it's not infallible, right? It's circumstance, things that play into that. But humans, especially in the United States, and Christians, that seem to be the predominant base group there, they are so caught up on fucking revenge and trying cases in the media, and so forth. And it just shows our base, instincts and natures, and it has no part in the religion. So it's just, I don't know, man. I've had a bad experience with organized religion and bullshit, lies, and blind faith. I mean, cool, do you. I believe in creation, by the way. But I don't.
You believe in creation and the death penalty. Bring them and take them away.
I don't believe in the death penalty in the sense the way we conduct it. I don't think you can use the death penalty if there's a chance that one individual might be innocent. So the cost of one life is greater than the punishment of the many. You know what I mean? You can't do it.
I don't know how I feel about any, like. So if somebody were to ask me, like, how do you feel about the death penalty? I'd be like, I don't even think about it, to be honest with you, until somebody asks me how I feel about it.
Yeah, the death penalty.
That's just a weird
man.
thing.
Like, I believe in it, and my revenge nature, someone harms me and my family and stuff, right? Naturally, I want to put the nigga in a hole. But what I'm saying is a non-emotional connection, thinking logically on the situation. The death penalty is a good tool. Most of the time that people are committing crimes where the death penalty is even involved, the last thing they're worried about is a deterrent, okay? And the death penalty is more a symbol of revenge, not, justice to society. It's like a lot keeping an honest man honest, It's not going to do nothing but slow a thief down, so... But the death penalty evidence has been manipulated, misconstrued, misinterpreted. They paint timelines on things that sometimes they don't even understand. They just sit back and how can we win the case? Not how do we find justice and truth. So when you manipulate all these facts and then you got 12 people in the jury box that have been emotionally preyed upon and half of them don't even want to be on jury duty, and then the ones that do want to be on jury duty, that's fucking sketchy in itself. So... And they have the misconstrued notion that police are always right, and the district attorney is there to protect their self-interest. But these are elected positions, and those are dangerous because if they look soft on crime and they don't hand out those death penalties, and it's more expensive to send a man to death than it is to send him his entire fucking bloodline to college. You know what I'm saying? It's cheaper to house him until he dies, and then the upside to housing him until he dies is that's harder time than the death penalty. The death penalty is the easy way out, and then also. It gives you time that in case evidence comes to find that they're not actually the perpetrator of the crime, you can have not killed a man that was innocent. You know what I mean? It's just it don't make no sense to me.
And you know, it also doesn't make sense when you pay a lot for postage, driving back and forth to the post office. Stamps.com can solve that.
You get what I'm saying, though, man? We out here. You got elected niggas killing niggas, man, because it sounds good sound bites for bitches like these fucking crime news reporter motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It's I don't know. I don't. Do I believe in the death penalty? Yes. Do I believe in?
Well, I think it's weird. I was driving when we were driving through Phoenix, right? A couple miles outside of Phoenix, there's a big ass
illegal brown man raping a white woman.
No, that was just before Phoenix. No, so we're going through Phoenix, and a couple miles outside of Phoenix, there's a big, depressing-looking prison.
Yeah.
And I remember driving by that and looking at that fucking thing, and I'm like, how weird is it that somebody breaks the law, and then like their punishment's gonna be like, you gotta go sit here for a certain amount of time, and then when you're done, you paid your debt to society. What kind of weird debt is it that the cost is sitting somewhere for a while?
They check you out on life, nigga, and they don't do anything. Most crimes, not like real crimes, but most American crimes are like financial poverty related crimes. Drug addiction, theft, fucking, drunkard, whatever, driving on spitting license, stupid shit, man. And
well, that's why I don't want to go to the South, because the South you can still get fucking locked up for child support, which is probably the most heinous thing you can think of.
I'm just saying, man, like they prey on people's emotions and then people lash out and then, attitudes and morale is contagious and then it spreads through the country like a fucking pandemic and it's like, you got people voting on things they don't even like. A nigga told me the other day talking about Trump, right? And I agree with a lot of Trump shit and then I disagree with a lot. There's no way I'm going to agree with everything on a single individual. You're not going to do it, especially a politician. But the nigga tried to tell me that we have a balanced budget now. So I showed the nigga the debt clock, and the nigga didn't know what it was.
It's like the death clock.
Yeah, so it's just, I mean, each to their own, you know what I'm saying? But, like, people still don't understand that the president don't run the country, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's the same thing. You got the people on the left and shit, and then people on the right, and all it's the same shit, same bird, same machine. Our government is fucking corrupt. It's fucking, it's like Rome, you know what I'm saying? Modern times, man. It's fucking, this bitch is chewed up, spent, nasty yeast infection, shit growing on the pussy, and you still tell her to turn another trick. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing good gonna come from that.
So here it is. If anybody ever wants to wonder why the government is corrupt, you need to go into your funky ass, unclean bathroom and stare in your unwashed, toothpaste-stained mirror. Now, I know a lot of people act like their hands are tied, and they're like, well, what are we going to do? Motherfucker, look at Hong Kong. Look at, what was it? I think it was Bolivia, like I was saying earlier, where the fucking cops joined the protesters. Yeah. The problem is, especially in America...
Nigga.
Air conditioning. That's all it is. The fucking problem is they don't have enough air conditioning and they wear those weird fucking masks. Like, bitch, you're not going to get a fucking common cold in Hong Kong, okay?
No, I'm saying these niggas here is got air conditioning, so they're not angry enough. They're complacent.
Well, no, here's the thing.
They're worried about their light bill, nigga, and going to church on Sunday, right?
If you go to Hong Kong...
Nigga, the Bible talks about the motherfucking earth opening up, nigga, and swallowing cities and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, what the fuck y'all niggas is going to go in there and talk about the chosen one? No. This corrupt, embezzling motherfucker's not chosen. Nobody's fucking chosen. We voted that motherfucker in. We voted all these people in. And we let them fix the goddamn problems that they create, and they don't fix shit because niggas is too scared to motherfucking do it. And goddamn, I don't know, choke somebody out. I don't know what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not condoning violence. That's that's not figurative. That's fucking me venting, nigga. Fuck that. You know what I mean?
All right. So do you know why Hong Kong is protesting?
Why is Hong Kong? Because I don't know. You tell me.
Okay. So a quick white boy history of what's going on. Taiwan, right? All our clothes
history, because it ain't never been right. But go ahead.
All our clothes are made in Taiwan, right? Yeah. Well, Taiwan is essentially the democratic free Chinese government. They went off and they're like,
split, and China want to take them back over.
yeah, they're like, we don't want your fucking communist bullshit where you control what happens to our Marvel movies, right? We want to go and we want to go make hats and football T-shirts. Yeah. So, the Chinese, I believe it was the Chinese government. I'm gonna fuck all this up, but I don't care. Instituted an extradition law where you could detain and extradite criminal fugitives who are wanted in territories in which Hong Kong doesn't have extradition, which is just more, fascist government. And these motherfuckers, they took their giant smartphones and their fucking 10-year-old haircuts and their weird surgical masks, and they took the fucking streets over one law, not an entire system of government that's fucking corrupt. One law.
Yeah.
And they're winning, right? But because that's people who care about their country.
Yeah. Well,
but here in America,
China's still trying to pretend that they own Taiwan and the sea and all that shit, nigga. They're trying to sew it all up.
But then you come to America, right?
Tripping on the one law. You're right, though. But niggas here, man, like, if I go protest, nigga, who's going to pay my bills? You know what I'm saying? I'm more worried about my house than I am about my liberty.
Well, you come to America, and it is literally like people are so worried about slam dunking on the other guy that the whole concept of their fucking country goes out the window. And like you said, not one of these motherfuckers, like all that bullshit you see when there's like, come and take our guns, we'll fucking mobilize. Bitch, you ain't going to mobilize because you were just bitching that the liberals were protesting. And and the first thing out of your mouth is going, well, I have a job, so I can't be out there all day protesting. Which is kind of especially when it's black people, it's kind of a racist thing to say, to be like, well, the black people don't have a job. That's why they're protesting. And they're so up in arms about slam dunking on the other person, about getting one over, about owning each other. And this country is so pathetic. It's not even divided like, East and West Berlin. It's literally pathetically divided into some self-righteous indignation of what they fucking feel this country should be. So corruption in this fucking country just runs rampant. We have a president who is a confirmed liar, who is on just so many levels is committing atrocities against his position.
Trump is the same thing that Obama was, man. He was an idea that could not reflect the expectations that was based into that idea. You understand what I mean? Like,
well, we don't have enough time for me to go on my feelings on Trump. I'm just saying.
No, I mean,
we're so corrupt.
Yourself, you know what I mean?
Because here's the thing. Because people, like I said earlier in the episode, the people are worshiping Trump so much that they're wearing clothing with his name, that they're tattooing his name on there, that they're writing his name on their property. What he did was I've said it once, I say it again. Trump is the Patriots. He is the New England Patriots. He is the guy that he can cheat and he can rape and he can do drugs and he can have a dog fighting ring, but it doesn't matter because he's bringing the city a championship ring.
Yeah. I'm just saying, man, that we bought and paid for. The government and the corporations are stronger than our government, and that's what it is. So, it's not about.
And because we're so
Congress is fucking melted, and that's just what it is.
Because we're so polarizing. Because everybody wants to own each other.
It has to be my way. That's the problem with humans. People in general, it has to be my way. Everybody wants it my way. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it just being like, okay, nigga, go do you. You know what I'm saying? If you can't be a vegan nigga and run a cattle ranch, I mean,
yeah, you can. Hell yeah, you can.
You can. I mean, you can. But I mean, the fuck is the point in that?
Well, here's you can't preach against homosexuality and then get busted sucking a prostitute's dick. You can't. Yeah. You can't stomp in the streets being adamant about premarital sex.
These niggas go have photo ops on the steps of a church that they never been to, And then, you know what I'm saying, they spew all this fucking hatred, and then the nigga gets caught with a fucking cock in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it, too.
Well,
like, when these old racist motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And they get caught, and then, you know, they're homophobic, and then it's a black dick, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking like...
It's always a black dick.
It's the black dick.
It's always a black dick.
It's the black
It'd be
dick,
one thing if it was just like, here I've been fucking Tom, and Tom's got like a nice 4.5 incher, and he drives a Toyota Tercel. It's always Tyrone, and that motherfucker's dick is so big it kind of bends near the end when it's hard because it can't sustain its own weight.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, that's the dick you want to suck. But no, you can't preach about, you can't be in the streets shouting against premarital sex and then get fucking get pregnant out of wedlock. You can't. That's worse than just doing those things in the first place. And unfortunately, that's a large percentage of America. Like what happened to me.
Fucking hypocrites, man. I'm real talk. Niggas are just scared to be themselves. They're so worried about motherfucking judgment that niggas just ain't being themselves. People ain't being themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like they're living to expectations of everyone else but themselves. You know what I'm saying? So behind closed doors they do X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? But out here in the public, they're trying to act like they're all prim and proper. You know?
Well, and it happened to me, like I said, what happened to me in Michigan, bro. What I was working for all those guys, right? Yeah. All of these guys, I'm telling you, all these guys were adamant. They were super like, you don't come to this country illegally. The rule of law. We're a country of laws. These motherfuckers were selling hundreds of pounds of weed a year illegally, not claiming any of it. But then they're going to sit there in somebody's face and be like, don't do it. It's illegal.
I already told everybody, man, whether I agree with the way the immigration is or not. I'm not really educated enough on it to understand a lot of the stuff behind it. But my point is that if I lived in a fucked up ass country, nigga, and I was in a dirt hut in the jungle and people were chopping people's heads off and I was unhappy, and my cousin Western Union me some money and told me I could come make me a little bit of pocket change, I'm probably gonna be on the move. You know what I'm saying? But that's me. So I can't say what I would do.
Do you want to hear? I got a
population, but I think that
America. I think we should snakehead people.
It's created the Mexican problem American people have. Like, you know what I'm saying? We consume the drugs, but them same Christian people want to pretend that, you know, but we don't consume the drugs. The drugs and the Mexicans are bad people, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got it fucked up. You can't have it every way, man. You can't do it.
Well, then that brings me to another thing I want to mention.
Go ahead, mention it.
Is it possible to not be a hypocrite?
No.
Is it possible that you're not going to fucking step on your own toes, talk out of the other side of your mouth at one point in your life?
No, man. And, you know, people constantly evolve. And what was okay today ain't okay tomorrow. And what went okay tomorrow, yesterday was okay tomorrow. So, you know, it's all fucked up. But you got to have a level to it, nigga. You can't be like, you know, burn people at the motherfucking stake for being witches and faggots and they get caught with a dick in your mouth. That's too much. That's too much. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing.
By the way,
like, if niggas like I'm on a diet, but then I'm eating spice drops, nigga, you know, that's a little bit different.
By the way, Witches and Faggots is my favorite autumn fest to attend. I take the kids to Witches and Faggots every year to go pumpkin carving.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, pumpkin carving. Witches and
Welcome
faggots,
to Witches and Faggots. Get some cider. Cider.
Yeah, I'm just chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm cool, man. There's a lot of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make some moves in my life. I'm gonna come up, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to where a nigga need to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go audition for a couple roles in the upcoming movie.
I want you to succeed more than I want me to succeed.
Yeah, because if I succeed, nigga, I'm gonna bring you with me. So you double your odds just by me even applying myself.
God, the goddamn fucking Veterans Day posts have already started across Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm not sure what a veteran actually is. So
it's somebody who, hey, I got it. It's somebody who cashed a check that they wrote for their life, written in blood, the fucking blah, 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 blah. Bitch, you were a
No,
cook.
I appreciate veterans, nigga. I appreciate the military and shit. I just don't like the idea of it being controlled by corporate interest. You know what I'm saying? That's where I have. But I can't be an idealist and then, you know, at the same time not understand how the world actually works. Because, I mean, I got carpet and air conditioning and shit. You know, I can go to a store and use a card, nigga, and get gas out of the pump and buy a Mountain Dew and, you know, all that shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It has to come from somewhere, but...
Get a Mountain Dew. There's nothing more American than Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew, nigga. But I don't even really fuck with Mountain Dew no more. But it was a figure of speech. But you get the analogy, right?
I get a Mountain Dew once a year.
I don't know.
Hey, you're on Netflix, right?
Some reason I just pictured you talking about a Mountain Dew once a year into a golden shower, you know, in a desert dunes.
How did you know? That's what I actually call it. That's what we call it. Like, hey guys, I send the group email out. I'm like, you guys ready for the Mountain Dew? And they're like, yeah, do the dew, bro. Then we just go pee on each other. A bunch of old uncircumcised men. I get in a bathtub, they pee on me. There are veiny penises, saggy balls.
Netflix. Everybody's got Netflix, but I'm about to cancel it. But so go ahead.
I don't want you to, because you have to watch My Name is Dolomite.
I seen Dolomite, nigga.
So He
inspired me. Dolomite inspired me. I'm not gonna lie.
I am a closet black culture fan, right?
Okay. I thought
I think that shit
like a closet black comedian, but okay.
I think that shit is amazing, right? And so I watched Dolomite, and then I watched My Name is Dolomite.
Yeah.
And as somebody who's done stand up comedy, I've seen what it's like firsthand. I'm actually going to get back into it.
Yeah.
You know, watching that when Rudy Ray Moore is all like, "Well, I'm gonna, I got this idea for a character I'm gonna do."
Yeah.
And if you ever watch a comic on stage, man, it's all persona. It's all who they are on stage. It's like it's their character. It's the exaggerated version of them. Yeah. And those are the best comics that make it out there. It's like it's not you getting up there. If you get up there and try to be you, then you're just wasting everybody's time.
I think my alter ego can make it.
The terrorist?
No, I think many, man. I just need to grab a fucking goddamn like a wheelchair, nigga, like a power chair and like a gangster ass motherfucking something. They can just make it happen.
So my sister's dating this guy from Kentucky.
He's got a power chair we can get.
Well, hold on, I'm getting there. And I was watching this guy as I observed people. I was watching him bang her. Yeah. No, so I'm talking to him. And a lot of people are funnier than they actually think they are. Like some people are
think they are.
But there are people out there that it's like, you have an extremely funny personality. You obviously should be doing stand-up. And I don't even think that's on their radar. You're not one of them, though, because you're more of a terrorist.
Yeah, fuck that shit, nigga. I don't even give a fuck.
Get up there with that power chair.
Nigga, power chair, nigga, but vape. Nigga. All I got to do, man, I think I'm going to, just start burning marijuana. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm just gonna
Don't you feel like an infant about the weed thing?
I do, man, because like, you know what I'm saying, like niggas got responsibilities out here. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and it's just all I want to do is smoke weed. You know how many times, dude, I drive around San Diego. I have money. I could easily walk into a dispensary. I could be high immediately.
Yeah, but I can go be a motherfucking raging motherfucking alcoholic, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Get so drunk I piss and shit myself, nigga. And be an upstanding member of motherfucking society, paying taxes.
Bro, I'm drinking wine straight from the bottle right now.
I'm just, man, I be chilling, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I talked to my wife the other night. I was like, you know, like, let's move to motherfucking Arizona. Let's move to Oregon. Let's move to motherfucking California. Let's move back to motherfucking Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I'm just ready to make some shit happen, nigga. I'm tired of motherfucking sitting here pretending that I'm gonna be comfortable for a little while, and then, you know, like, nigga, fuck that. Like, if you look at anybody that really made it, niggas just made moves, nigga. It didn't matter how many dead ends, and nigga hit a dead end, nigga, start over.
You could move to fucking Florida and be like Plies.
Man, I went to Florida. I probably robbed Plies.
ran off on the plug twice. Hey,
You know,
listen
like,
here, man.
I'm just saying,
Hey,
some
hey,
niggas, man,
your
some
monkey
niggas like,
ass.
steal that nigga's teeth.
What's your monkey ass?
I like some of the nigga music though. I ride to it.
At first, I didn't like Plies, but now I'm like, I fucking, you know what? Because I look at the dude and I'm like, I like the fact that this character exists.
Yeah, like, and he went to college and shit.
I just don't know what Plies means. Like, applies himself?
No, P lies, nigga.
Like T-Pain?
Like P lies, like he lies.
Like, well, T-Pain's name is Tallahassee Payne.
Yeah.
That sucks. I wish you didn't tell me that. I could have gone the rest of my fucking life without knowing it's like P. Lies, like P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Lies, nigga. P lies, nigga.
I got something for your monkey ass.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, so I'm here. I'm in California.
I got some family in California somewhere.
But I'm going to use a new perspective. Michigan is getting fucking face raped with snow. And then you got to look at yourself. And you can't, the worst thing, you can lie to everybody else. You can't lie to yourself.
You know why y'all hate Trump, man? Y'all know why y'all hate Trump?
Why do I hate Trump?
Because that nigga sold himself. And that's a commodity that only he owns. You know what I'm saying? And that is a come up off of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he creates money just off of him. You know what I mean? Like, there ain't a whole lot of moving parts to that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't like Trump because this is, for anybody ever wonders, I don't like Trump because I wasted 8 years of my life arguing with people online about Obama. I distinctly remember general arguments that a lot of people had about him. That they had about him.
Okay.
I remember how people felt, the same things people bitch about Democrats. And then here's Trump, literally with a checklist doing the same things that people hate about Obama or hated about Democrats, but they're silent.
Yeah,
what he's doing is,
people,
I don't like him because he's the Pied Piper of stupid people.
That'd be like saying you don't like pussy because it bleeds once a month.
That doesn't bother me. I got my Red Wings. No, here's the thing. I'm a firm believer that if you have a leadership position, you have a fucking sacrificial responsibility to use it correctly because you are the voice of a lot of people, and people don't realize that, and that's what's wrong with this world. Is if you were the head of the class, if people are looking at you to see what you're going to do and say, you have just a preternatural responsibility to those people because you are the vox populi, Latin for voice of the people. And if you are exploiting that, if you are playing with that,
self-gain, nigga. All these
you're a terrible person.
All these politicians, all these managers, business owners and shit, nigga. People are motherfucking like a disease, nigga. They're like a parasite.
But Trump isn't a politician. That's why we voted for him. No, we
People
voted
for the nigga because he solidified their angry voice.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
The same people that elected Obama elected Trump.
I will 100% agree with that.
Yeah. You know, it's not that motherfuckers are racist or this or that. Who gives a fuck if they are? You know what I'm saying? What I mean?
No, here's the thing. If you want to talk about, I don't think Trump is racist. I think he doesn't even acknowledge other human beings enough to be racist.
No, he's a personalist.
I think he doesn't even see other people in his world.
No,
I literally think he looks at
for Trump. The world exists for Trump.
I literally think that in his world, as he goes on, other people are inconveniences to him. And when he has to pretend for 1 second to give a fuck about anybody else in this world besides himself, it frustrates him.
It's torture, nigga.
Because look at his wife. She's a sex robot. She's an emotionless, cold-feeling vagina.
I don't don't know. You don't know that. Like, have you had spoken with her in privacy, nigga? Where
Yeah, we talk all the time. We talk all the time on Reddit. I was like, "Hey, Melania, how'd you meet?" Well, he was rich, so we fuck. I was like, "How the kids?" She's like, "It's Wednesday." I'm like, "What?" I like your hair.
I just be chilling, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, here's the thing. Since I'll tell you this, and this will resonate with you.
Yeah.
You keep doing the same things you do, you're gonna get what you get.
Yeah, hey, that's cool, man. But I'm saying I think we ought to sell some Trump merchandise and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
No. I think we need to start selling Repeat Offender Podcast merchandise.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can definitely sell that too, of course. But you know, I mean, something's got to pay for something. You know what I'm saying?
We should make a funny hat that looks like a "Make America Great Again" hat.
Kevin Gates did that shit with a song.
Man,
like 3 years ago.
I almost forgot about him.
Make America trap again. Make the trap great again.
That's what we should say. We should say,
make America
offend again.
Yeah, make the trap great again or some shit. How do they say that shit?
Make America offend again. Bring us back to a time where we can make fun of fat people and ugly bitches and nerds and retarded kids.
Well, I think that's what I should do. I think that if a nigga went to California and came out raw like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, fuck all this politically correct bullshit, nigga. But like, if a nigga motherfucking came out and motherfucking was just a savage about the pussy and the dick sucking and all that, nigga, and the ugly bitches and these weak ass niggas and shit, like, yeah, I think a nigga get paid. You heard me?
That's what I'm saying. Well, like, we should make it okay to push an autistic kid in a mud puddle.
Yeah, fuck them little niggas.
You know what I mean? We should be able to like not fuck a fat chick because she's gross and got sweat pimples on her thighs.
Yeah, don't nobody give a fuck about all that. Nigga ain't even looking at it. He's busy holding the door and the hat out his eyes and shit.
We should make fun of the weak. We should promote the strong. If you're
that kind of sounds like a Nazi agenda or some shit, niggas. I'm not a Nazi.
All I'm saying is we should euthanize the mentally feeble. No, I'm saying if you're a tranny, that's fine, but you better look like a woman.
They I don't know, man. Maybe that should be my stage presence, nigga. Maybe I should dress up like a woman, nigga, with a weave and shit and big nails.
You should. Pissed off. Suck a dick. I know I don't look like a bitch. Suck a dick.
Yeah, goddamn, nigga.
I'm telling you, it would work for you.
Nigga.
I'd love it.
No.
I'd be on it.
Beer no. And go savage on these fuck niggas.
But that's what we should do out there, because this is the Repeat Offender Podcast. This is what we're here to do. White, black.
Man, we got off step.
White, black, rich.
When we came out, nigga, it was no holes, no bar, nigga. Like we'd just break everybody's nuts on the game. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what we're supposed to do.
On this poverty thing, nigga, and the weed laws in Michigan, nigga, and Trumpitis and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And
because here's the thing,
Trumpitis, nigga. I just motherfucking like coined the term.
If you're white, if you're black, if you're Indian, Native American, if you have sacred land, if you have families.
You know what I'm angry about?
What's that?
All the Indian movies on motherfucking Netflix. Don't nobody give a fuck about that shit.
Nobody gives a shit about that. Fuck Bollywood. I don't want to sit there and scroll and look for something to find, and all of a sudden, fucking, it starts turning into fucking weird language, and it's some
all
dark.
I can picture is these motherfucking, you know, every time I think about that crazy shit, niggas, these documentaries I've seen where these niggas just like standing up and shitting on a bucket in a hole, and then trash in the motherfucking creek with all these motherfucking shoeless kids drinking out of it. You know what I'm saying?
When I see that Bollywood shit, all I can think of is like 100,000 motherfuckers hanging on a train to go to work.
Some nigga talking about, my name is Bob. Your internet payment is due, and I'm like, no, it ain't, nigga. You're not even associated with the internet company.
Hello, Mr. Nuddle. My name is Eric. Oh, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm sitting here bleeding from the neck. Oh, Mr. Nuddle, I'm so sorry to hear about that. The reason I am calling today is to like, fuck off, motherfucker. Look, here's the thing. I don't care if you have Bollywood movies. You guys still have the caste system. You guys still worship cows. Fix that shit before you think you can make up a good movie.
Yeah, that's, you know, America, that's like one thing we have is amazing fucking cinema presence. Like our fucking movies, dude, are like they're well put together, you know. And I watch all this other shit, and it's just like this horrendous low budget. Orwell
Nigerian
fucking,
action movies are hilarious.
Yeah, like it's like an Orwell fucking propaganda fucking thing from a time that don't even exist. You know what I'm saying? Like a dystopian fucking infomercial. You know what I mean?
I feel you. But it's all good. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the Bollywood thing. Don't put that on Netflix. You should ask people. Like if you went into a fucking Blockbuster and there's a curtain separating you from the normal shit and the porn. Like, motherfucker, I don't want to see Bollywood. I won't ever watch one of these movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I should be able to like motherfucking click on Netflix.
Like filter, no Bollywood.
Like if I don't want this or anything like this to come up and you try and pretend that you're selecting shit that I want to watch, even though my trending list is only the movies that I have looked at recently, your algorithm's fucked up.
I won't ever watch a fucking romance movie starring a spray tan looking Nicolas Cage motherfucker and a chick that looks like a porcelain doll with a fucking nose ring going from her nose to her ear. I won't ever watch that. Trust me.
Nigga. No,
trust me.
You should watch Gone with the Wind. It's a good movie.
But if it was Bollywood, it's Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, it'd be something fucked up. Yeah.
Have you ever watched?
Have you pornos with elephants and shit?
I was gonna say, you ever watch that? You ever watch? You ever watch Indian porn?
No, I ain't never watched Indian porn. I haven't never watched it.
Real quick, the first porn.
Are we talking about American Indians or fucking
Indians? No, I would say Native American porn. No. So the first porn I've ever seen was the Bogus Brothers, right? Will Ravage and Alex Salpalo. And
the Bang Bus.
I like the Bang Bus. But the Bogus Brothers are fucking classic, dude. And these guys are not good looking dudes. Alex Salpalo's like a fat Mexican looking motherfucker, and Will Ravage is like a pockmark looking grandpa dude. But they have like 2 decades worth of just banging chicks that range from like floppy fat chicks with big tits to pretty hot women. And like their thing is like they just do multiple cum shots, right? So near the end of the video, you're watching both of them cum like 5 or 6 times on these chicks, but whatever, that's my thing. And they have a version of it where they're just out there banging Indian chicks. And for some reason, Indian chicks have giant tits. So that's, that's where we can forgive
periods, them. I think genetically from starvation periods.
They just got big tits. It's like you see an Indian chick in a porn, she's gonna have big tits. And I like that. I think it's good.
Yeah. All right. Well, you need to thank our sponsors and shit because I need to go organize my home.
Well, shout out to Netflix. Netflix, rent movies in the mail, or they don't do that anymore. Watch movies at home, on demand, thousands of selections, including Bollywood films.
Fuck that.
Shout out to Donald Trump Jr.'s new book, I Want My Dad to Love Me, or I don't know what it's called. Shout out to Aquafina. You taste like dish soap.
I wonder if little Trump ate Mama Trump pussy.
Ivanka?
Yeah, whatever the fucking name is.
His kid's got like, his one kid, Barron, got a weird ass name. Like motherfucking Barron Trump, like John F. Kennedy Jr. looking motherfucker. Shout out to people that aren't sponsoring us, that will never sponsor us. Del Taco. Del Taco! If you don't like Taco Bell, there's always Del Taco. And a shout out to Taco John's, because that fucking place is gross. By the way, did I tell you I got that Popeye's chicken sandwich?
I've seen the post about it.
I'm telling you, all I'm saying is, dude, you'll love this. I took a bite of that motherfucker, and my first thought was like, I wish a motherfucker would. Like, I would fucking hurt somebody for this fucking. I'm sorry, I don't know what the fuck you people are seeing in Chick-fil-A.
You been in goddamn northern Michigan and shit, nigga. And You know, niggas up north, y'all don't understand anything about flavor or spice and none of that shit. And as far
That's
as
what I'm
the
saying.
war on Chick-fil-A, nigga, get off the motherfucking high horse. Nigga, Chick-fil-A got a bomb-ass motherfucking sandwich. And Popeyes
I've had it
they're
5
on
or
two
6
different-
times.
Listen.
I've had it 5 or 6 times. I
Chick-fil-A
don't get it.
And Popeyes are on two different fucking, planes. All right, they do things different. They're all, it's just like you can have fucking fish 1,000 different ways. Sometimes it's good. It's
I just
fried.
don't get it.
Sometimes
Here's
it's good bait. It's just different shit, nigga. You know what I'm
Chick-fil-A
saying?
is plain. Their breading is soggy. That's why they offer all them sauces, because they're like, dip this plain ass chicken into all these sauces.
It's because they see your liberal ass coming through there, nigga, and they do it on purpose.
Dude, their waffle fries aren't even seasoned. What the fuck is that?
That's because the old white people go there got high blood pressure.
How do you not have seasoned waffle fries? What kind of sacrilegious bullshit is that? I'd rather watch a Bollywood film.
I don't know. Anyway, shout
All
out
right.
Chick-fil-A.
Shout out Chick-fil-A. You should be open on Sundays. So, thanks for everybody that listens out there. This is our new West Coast, East Coast studio.
Damn.
We are like the goddamn Biggie and Tupac of
Yeah,
of
you gotta get a
offensive.
nose ring now, nigga. You need a nose ring.
That goes from my nose to my ear. We are the Biggie and Tupac of offensive podcasting. So, thanks all. Shout out to all our non-sponsors. Shout out to people that still are with us on this one. One day this motherfucker is going to be big, and we're going to remember who you guys are. And remember, if you're in line at Popeyes and some motherfucker tries to cut you, right? And then you pull out a knife to cut him, and then you pull off somebody's weave, and then the fucking cops show up and they're shouting, "World Star!" Never go quietly. Peace.